Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to request you for only two things. Number one, lend me an audience because this is going to be a special one. Kindly watch to the end, especially if international politics is something that you are very passionate about, then definitely this is going to be your video today. Number two, please subscribe to our channel if you're watching for the first time, and turn on the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video. Give this particular video a thumbs up, like it, and you can also share it. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who have followed this channel for quite a while, know that I've always maintained that President William Samoei Ruto is the last born of the Western nations, the United Kingdom, United States of America, and the European Union. They placed William Ruto strategically, not only in Kenya, but to be the gateway to the other African countries, especially the EAC, East African Community. And for those who understand international politics, by now, you're very much well conversant by the fact that our economy is being controlled by the IMF, International Monetary Fund, together with the World Bank. You also understand that William Ruto is on a path to open the Kenyan economy, and especially the agricultural field and animal feeds, to the GMO, courtesy of the rich man Bill Gates. You understand that? And you also understand that we're about to sell some of the very vital state corporations like the Kenyan Seed Company to allow Bill Gates to come in to control it, because already there is an American company that is trying to bid to buy it. And so with that, you also understand that we have allowed the LGBTQ, same-sex marriage, and we can go on and on. So with that, you understand. But I want to take you further so that you can understand the role that William Ruto is playing at the international or the African level. And I want us to read something very fast because it's not going to take much of our time, so that you can understand. I'm going to bring you up to speed. Congo recalls envoys to Kenya and Tanzania over alliance launched in Nairobi. That is self-explanatory. And very fast, it reads, and by the way, I'm reading from one of the international media, that Kinshasa, December 16th, and this is Reuters, it says, Democratic Republic of Congo recalled its ambassador from Kenya and Tanzania for consultations on Saturday after a new Congolese military alliance that includes rebels was launched in Nairobi, in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. And just to bring you up to speed with this, briefly, this is what it says. On Friday, William Ruto witnessed the formation of a new military alliance called the Congo River Alliance in the Kenyan capital city. And this alliance, this military alliance, includes Congolese politicians, several groups, including the M23 rebels that have been, at the center of military war in Congo. And then there is a man here called the Corneille Nangaa, who is a former chief of the Congolese electoral body, like the IEBC that we have in Kenya. These people have come up together and they have launched a new military wing, and it was launched in the presence of the president. It let the president and the Kenyan government gave it a clean bill of health. Now this has rattled a diplomatic spat between the two nations, Kenya and Congo. And so on Saturday, the Congolese Foreign Affairs Minister summoned the Kenyan ambassador to Congo for explanations on this. And then they also decided to recall their ambassador to Kenya. In fact, the spokesman of the Congolese Foreign Affairs Ministry, this man goes by the name Alain Shibanda, announced this on his X handle that they had recalled their ambassador from Kenya. Now, this man called Corneille Nangaa was being interviewed, and when they reached him to shed more light about the new wing of the military that has been formed, this is what he said: that the alliance will bring together various Congolese armed groups, militias, and political organizations. Armed groups, militias, and political organizations. Now, to bring it closer home, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to picture this: that President William Samoei Ruto is getting news that maybe in Tanzania, Musalia Mudavadi has regrouped with other politicians and with the outlawed sect, for example, just an example, like Mungiki, Chinkororo, and other groups, and maybe people like Chebukati, and they are forming a military wing. Yet we have a sitting government, and this is happening in the presence of his counterpart. Maybe Suluhu is presiding over this. How would he feel? And I want us to look at very fast the reason why I'm telling you that William Ruto has got international duties beyond Kenya. Let me remind you of this. When there was an altercation in Sudan, the main Sudan, William Ruto wanted to be the arbiter there. And one of the groups, the warring camp, rejected him because they said he was partisan. And he has also been warning the West African countries that have staged a successful coup. At one point, he even sent a warning, very laughable indeed, to Russia, to Russian President Putin, for hosting those presidents that that were in power because of the coup. I want to bring up to speed again by the fact that William Ruto is taking 100 policemen to Haiti to maintain peace. I want to give you 3 things here. As this is happening, today is 17th. Congo is going for a presidential election on 20th of December this month. So only 3 days to the elections, and such things are happening. Don't you read something? That there is a government in place and they are about to conduct their national elections, and some people are regrouping in the capital city of Kenya and forming a military wing. Remember that Congo has been rocked by civil strife, that anything to do with another military wing will send chills, will bring a lot of fears to anybody who cares to listen. This is about elections that is about to take place in Congo. The international community wants to install their president in Congo. This is it. And they are using Nairobi as their pathway, because Felix Tshikedi, who is the president of Congo, will have his attention diverted from the major game that is supposed to be concentrating on. And I know that for this to reach Nairobi, this was planned. There is no way leaders can converge together, including some militia, and they form a military wing. They call it the Congo River Alliance. If this was not planned, and they want to execute it only 3 days before elections, so that there is no time, because it is either Felix Tshikedi will concentrate on the formation of this rebel camp, or is going to concentrate on the elections. He cannot do the two, and his attention is going to be divided. So the international community wants to interfere with the elections in Congo to install their puppet. Maybe Felix is not cooperating, and this is the reason why there is a diplomatic spat. This is the role that William Ruto is playing, I can assure you. And for the people of Congo, your election is not going to be free and fair, not unless you stand strong. And I'm sure that as we speak, the bodies that manage elections perhaps have been compromised. And I just want to wait and see if their attempts are going to yield fruits. Number two, this is about the recent removal of or recalling of the military and the Kenyan military and part of the other groups that were there under the guise of what I can call peacekeeping mission, a mission or something. And I'm sure that when the Congolese people rejected the Kenyan army there and the Kenyan military and other foreign militaries, Nairobi was not happy. The international community was not happy, because part of the roles of this military wing when they are in those countries, like the one that they're going in Haiti, they have a clandestine motive. And I'm not afraid to say that the presence of foreign military there was not doing any good to the Congolese people. They were there to hoodwink the world that they were maintaining peace, which I don't think. Yes, peace can be part of it, but I know that there are other things that would follow. And this takes me to the second point, the third point. It is about the minerals that are in Congo. That has ever been the mission. And let me just tell you, I was reading something just briefly, and it says that the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, is one of Africa's most richly endowed countries in terms of mineral wealth. The country hosts numerous major deposits of diamonds, gold, copper, cobalt, tin, titanium, lithium, just to mention but a few. Yet you all understand, with this kind of natural endowment, the minerals, Congo is one of the poorest countries in the world. Have you ever asked yourself that question? Too rich in terms of minerals, just the poorest in the country, in the world or in Africa. And when people are going for such elections, the Western machinations wants to ensure that they have their president, they have their form of leaders, so that they can continue exploiting minerals in Congo. Number two, Nairobi could be interested in the minerals too. The other time, the president of Congo had to urgently jet into the country, and he was complaining that some unscrupulous businessmen from Kenya had run away with their gold. And so there is a clandestine motive between Nairobi, some leaders in Congo, and the international community. It is about election. It is about the military wing. You know, when they removed the foreign militaries, they were not happy. So they are forming this kind of military wing to continue to perpetuate the ill motives and intentions in Congo. And this is the reason why we will never have peace in Congo. We will never have peace in some of these countries, because our fellow African brothers fellow African presidents are in cahoots with the international community to perpetuate the mess in such countries. And that is a fact. And this is why you can see there is a diplomatic spat. This is the reason why Congo recalled the ambassador. I don't know what you think. I want us to have a very genuine discussion of this. Kindly share with me in the comment section what you think is happening here. We can always learn. Also, no one has monopoly of knowledge. What do you think is happening in those countries? What do you think about the diplomatic spat, the altercation? Your guess is as good as mine.